Ew. Ew.
Wait, what's in?
What evidence do you have to back up your personal theories?
My chest ripping through my shirt is in.
Before I get into it, can you explain to me? I know what an agnostic atheist is, but can you explain why probably like 90 something percent of people that I talk to on TikTok they say they're an agnostic atheist instead of an atheist?
I don't know.
Well, an agnostic atheist, you don't really have to provide any proof because you're not really making a claim. And
Yeah.
so when you say you're an atheist, now you have a burden of proof, and I just feel like atheists just like to kind of be like, oh, no, you're the Christian, or you're the Muslim, or you're this. You have all the burden, and I can just disagree with you, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, I don't exactly know what point you're trying to make. I do know that there are people that think that gods can't exist, like somebody like J Mike thinks that. With all the omni dilemmas that go in with the traditional concept of God that for the most part Christians, Muslims and Jewish people bring up. Those dilemmas I think make it you get backed into corners, and so there are things that just don't seem to make any sense or work out. But those are just logical disproofs, which I don't think you can logically prove or disprove anything, really. I don't think that even really makes any sense, except for like things that are true by definition, I guess. As far as like the Christian God, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that the Christian God not only doesn't exist, but can't exist. So that doesn't mean that Zip Zop can't be the true God, or Spanky over here.
So would you? So have you read the Old or New Testament, or briefed it, or
Not 100% of it, no.
yeah? So like the Old Testament, there's things in there that people talk about, like the Canaanites, and God is immoral, justice monster for that, and things of that nature. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, the character of God appears to be logically inconsistent.
Right. So if Christianity was proven to be true, you don't do you approve of? Let's say it's true. Do you approve of how he handled things in the past, like in the Old Testament? Do you
No.
approve of it? Right. So there's some moral reasonings there on your part. So the question is, if
Sure, but also I think it's logically inconsistent with God itself.
if Jesus showed up in your room right now, you know he was true. He left. Are you going to worship him? Yes or no? It's true.
I have no idea. If he killed every single person on Earth except Noah and his family, then that would be a character unworthy of worship, if you ask me.
Right. So
If hell,
so
so
they
I'll finish this real quick. If hell is just a separation from God, and I'm going to separate myself from that, then I'm all for that. I'm all for no part in that. If hell is an eternal torment, well then I feel like I have no choice but to try not to go to hell. But that type of coercion, and I guess we could call it coercion, or I mean, you could almost call it blackmail in a way, extortion, sort of in a way. I don't find that to be more like a paradigm of morality. Like, oh, the most loving thing ever would be the threat of the worst imaginable thing. So it doesn't matter how horrible God is, as long as he's not as bad as that. And it doesn't matter what horrible thing God tells you to do, because nothing you could ever possibly do would ever be worse than an eternity of whatever that is. So we win. Nobody actually thinks that makes any sense. The only way you can make that work is to just not really think about it.
so let's take like some of the wars that have happened. You got Ukraine and stuff. Do you agree with America aiding another country to stop, pretty much like trying to stop evil?
In this case, no.
Okay. And if you knew there was a country that what happened to like 9/11 or something, do you agree with us trying to
The invasion
no,
of Iraq was the most catastrophic decision in
right,
modern
right.
American history, and it's not even
Correct. George
close.
Bush was wrong. I get it.
Okay.
But would you, if you were the president, would you want to seek vengeance? Is what I'm asking. Would you go after
If I had
the
magical
right people?
powers, I would make it so that people don't suffer and die. So would you.
Okay.
What would you do?
So
Like
if
I talked about this in a video I was creating today. People anthropomorphize God and they say, "Well, wouldn't you blankety blank because your image of God is created in your image." But you say God created us in his image. No, you imagine all these things about God and you put human limitations on it. Wouldn't you seek revenge and justice, and wouldn't you go out and kill people and collateral damage? What are you going to do about it when things like that happen?
so
Because
you're
you
saying
can't, because you somehow can't imagine, or you keep forgetting that your God does not have the limitations you do. So what I would actually do if I were God is something a hell of a lot better than invade a foreign country and kill probably 1 million civilians. So if you
so
were
would you,
God, wouldn't you just make the bad people go away?
so what I'm saying is you're God, right? Like let's say you're God, you're creating this universe. Would you create a universe where people could only do good but not evil, or would you have to have the option to do evil because if not, they would be robotic. And secondly, then how would you really know they're good, or you're just like a dictator? I mean, wouldn't you have to allow the aspect of evil in order to have free will?
No. So it sounds like you're saying that it was wrong for God to create heaven.
To create what?
Heaven.
No, I'm not sure where you got that from.
How many sins take place in heaven?
Zero.
How much evil happens in heaven?
Yeah, but angels are not humans.
How much sin happens in heaven?
Zero.
So
What
it's
are you getting
not,
at?
so then heaven is not, so it was wrong of God to create a place where evil cannot happen.
No. Why would it be wrong?
You
Angels are,
said
we
it's
don't,
wrong. You
we
said
died.
that it would be wrong to create that kind of place.
No, no.
Yes, you did.
No, listen.
No, not no. You said
If
that.
you're in heaven, you are in the presence of God. So
Yeah,
there is
fucking
no
great. So why
evil.
did he abandon us here on earth?
It's illogical. You can't have something good and somehow like evil is just like sitting beside it, like chilling. It's you can't do that. So it's
So there's
you're
evil in heaven.
but there's not because
Then
there
you're
those are
wrong, aren't you?
angels. No, I'm not. I have no idea. You clearly don't understand the
You
Bible.
can't have good without evil next to it. Is there any evil in heaven? No.
No.
You don't believe in anything, including your own thoughts.
Okay. Well, let's say you're correct.
No, this is you.
I'll give you that. I don't agree with you, but let's just. I'm not going to run in circles with this. You're
That's
correct.
fine.
All right.
Okay.
So back to you are literally saying if Jesus, you knew him to be true, that you would still not worship, you would still not seek the truth. Now, Christians get a lot of flack for believing in fairy tales and this and this. Here I am giving you a hypothetical situation. You know Jesus is true, and you still turn your back and do whatever you want. So, how should I believe anything that you say as if you're a truth seeker when you just denied that you would agree or follow the truth
So
because of
you have
moral
I
reasonings?
yeah. So I don't know what makes you think that knowing that Jesus is who Jesus claims to be, but claiming that he's not worthy of worship is the same thing as claiming 2 + 2 = 5. That was ridiculous. You can't trust me to be able to ascertain what is true versus false because I don't lick the asshole of the thing you worship. That's fucking stupid.
Would it not be stupider to not worship the dictator of the universe, to go to a place that's, because of
We already went
selfish
over
reasons,
if
because
God
you're
if
self-centered?
we already went over this. If God's method is coercion and blackmail and threats, then I guess you don't really have any choice. But there's no morality in that. There's
So would you
there's no
agree that
moral
you're
logic
more-
in that.
Would you agree you're more emotional than a Christian?
I have no idea.
Because if Muhammad, not Muhammad, because he's never claimed to do anything of miracles. So if
He performed many miracles. He ascended to heaven and the
if
moon
Allah-
split in half.
that you don't know what you're talking about. But in Allah,
Do you know what you're talking about?
yeah, Muhammad never claimed to do miracles. What are you reading from the Quran, or are you reading from?
These are just things that I have heard.
Right, but the Quran doesn't say that. So you're reading something called the Shahira or something law, and most Muslims say it's all.
You mean
fictional.
a hadith?
There you go, and they're fictional.
Yeah, you don't know what you're
So,
talking about. Okay, the Gospels are fictional. There. See how easy that is to do?
So, but if Allah came into my room and I knew it would be true, why would I be a Christian? I mean, I'm going to follow Allah.
Yeah,
But
that's
what
not the
you're
same
saying-
thing as what is true. Can a Muslim and a Christian do math?
What you're literally saying
Can a
is,
Muslim
I know
and a
it's true,
Christian
but-
do math?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so then stop telling me that whatever fiction you believe determines whether or not somebody can know what is true, because that's stupid. You're making a very weird conflation. I don't even know what to call
I'm
it.
not. Basically,
Yes, you
what I'm
are.
trying to say is, atheists try to be the beacon of reason. They're the beacon of reason, but yet, if in a hypothetical situation, if you knew Jesus was real, you still ain't gonna worship him because you're just emotional. You want to be a
I
self-centered.
literally said, yeah, okay, so worship and reason are not at all the same thing.
So you would admit in your heart that Jesus is real, and then you would say, "I just don't choose to worship him."
I actually already gave you my answer to this. Do you not remember?
No, you're being pretty. You're just jumping around the bush. You're not giving me direct responses.
I gave you a very direct response to this not very long ago. So I said, if hell is just the separation from this God and Jesus character, who I think
Right.
are complete assholes, then I would have no problem separating myself from that.
Okay,
If
so
hell
you would
is
go to
eternal torment, then I feel like I would have no choice.
Okay.
So,
So,
remember when I
if
said
there-
that earlier?
There's a road in front
Do
of you.
you remember when I said that earlier?
Yeah. So there's a road
Okay,
in
so
front
you got a
of you.
brain for your
It's just hard
thumbnail
for me to
picture.
fathom that
So
somebody
how are
would
you
be
not
so-
tracking this? You know,
It
you
just-
know that I said that, and you just chose to be
It's
like,
just so hard for me to fathom that
I-
someone
I-
could be such a
I-
narcissist.
yeah,
like
life
that.
is hard for you. I get it. Oh, somebody doesn't think the way I think. They're so narcissistic. I just don't get it.
no. It
I
has
don't
nothing to do with that.
understand.
I understand that if some weird alien god showed up today and I don't know what the hell it is and I think he's an idiot, I probably should see what he believes in and why he did what he did, and what choice do I have at that point? Why would I choose to go down a road that says, hey, if you go down this road, you're going to jump off a cliff, and if you go down this road, you're going to go to heaven? He's
Yeah,
a mean
yeah,
God.
some
I'm gonna
free
go
will
jump
he
off the
gave
cliff.
us. Yeah, some free will.
It's crazy that you would just decide to take the cliff road.
And it's crazy that you think that coercion and threats is like somehow what is morally good or makes any
We're talking
sense.
we're talking about morals now. So do you think starving children and all of the things going around the world's evil?
I think what's evil is doing nothing about it, which is what your God does.
Okay, so you want God to stop all of the evil in the world. Is that what you're saying?
Wouldn't even have to be all of it, just some of it. Literally
Some of it.
anything at all.
Okay, good. Can you define like what it would be? I mean, this is just a subjective opinion here that you're saying, but what in your world do you think it should be stopped?
Unnecessary suffering, for example. So let's see if we can figure this out together. Do you think that it makes any moral sense to punish somebody for a crime they didn't commit?
For a crime they did not exist? Of course not.
That they did not commit? Okay, your God does that. So there we go. So we're done with getting morality from your God.
I see.
So what do you want to talk about next?
We don't understand what Christ said on the cross, but okay.
No, you don't.
You don't. Like what?
What? Father, forgive them, for they know not what they have done. That somehow forgives the fact that God killed every single fetus inside of every single woman during the flood.
Okay, you keep bringing up the flood.
I brought it up literally once.
Okay, well, it's the second
Oh
time.
no,
you
wait,
brought it
second
up,
time.
so-
You're right, but I'm not the one who has a brain for their thumbnail. So
Well, I just remembered that you brought it up twice.
yes, good for you. So according to you, it's not okay to punish somebody for a crime they didn't commit, but your God does it. Therefore, your God is immoral.
How are you saying they
Literally,
didn't
like
commit
the
a
first,
crime?
isn't the first commandment, I am the Lord your God, I am a jealous God,
you
you
tell
shall
me why he
worship
flooded
no
the
other
world?
gods before me, for I will punish the iniquitudes of this generation to the third and fourth generation, so on and so forth. But I will bless the righteous 1,000 generations, whatever.
You know what
It doesn't
was
matter
happening
because it's wrong
when
according
he
to you.
flooded it?
It doesn't matter because according to you, it's wrong.
It doesn't matter. I see.
No, because according to you, it's wrong.
Right. He's a righteous judge, but it just doesn't matter what he says.
According to you, it does not matter because it's wrong to do it.
Was it
So if
wrong
you're just
for
going to
him
specially plead, then I'll specially plead all day long.
Was it wrong for him to do what he did to the Canaanites?
According to you, yes.
According to me, yes.
Yeah. I can ask you again. Do you think it's okay to punish somebody for a crime they did not commit?
You would go to heaven for a crime you did not commit. You're playing crickets, but your statement is just illogical.
It was a question, and you answered the question.
No, it's
You
more of a
said
statement
no.
because the question don't make no sense. You're just talking at this point.
Don't make no sense? That means that it does make sense. So,
Doesn't make any
is it okay to punish somebody for a crime they did not commit? Come on, buddy. You already answered this question. The answer is yes if they go to heaven, right? That's your cop-out answer.
Is there a one-ended stick? Well, let me play the crickets now. It doesn't make any sense what you're saying.
No, it makes perfect sense, and you answered the question, and now we've walked you into a wall where you don't know what to do. So now you're just
There is no
now
wall.
you're just playing dumb.
Basically, I just proved that you're just an emotional being. You base all your faith on
Actually, I actually proved that you have
You're
a
on a
logical
faith
contradiction in your moral philosophy. See, because
No,
you said that
You just
it's
said you
not
didn't read
okay.
the whole Bible. You just breezed
Excuse me, sir. Actually, you said it's not morally permissible to punish somebody for a crime they didn't commit, but God does it. So that means that your God breaks the 32nd divine third transmogrifier of pi, and that in itself is a logical absurdity.
Yeah, but didn't you just tell me that I'm trying to act. The way that I'm trying to use my logic. Didn't you tell me earlier that how can I play that to God? I'm a human.
No.
He's God.
So, do you believe in objective morality?
Yeah, I do.
So, if it's objective, that means it's true in all cases and circumstances.
Correct.
Regardless of
How
time,
do you
place,
believe in objective
position, or
morality?
person. So that
You
means
believe in it?
if it's wrong if God does it too. If that's not the case, then you do not believe in objective morality.
Let me
You
ask
believe
you
in
this.
subjective morality.
No, that's crazy because you're
It's literally
saying-
not crazy because that's what objective
You're
means.
not letting me
If you
finish
don't
my
understand,
statement.
I'm not going to let you until we agree because I hate the way people like you just not really change
I'm
the
about to
subject, but
respond
move
to
the
what you just
goalpost.
said, though.
So, yeah, it's not okay to kill somebody for a crime they didn't commit. What if God does it? Well, they go to heaven or something like that. Great. Okay,
No.
well, do you believe in
No,
objective
no.
morality? Yes. Okay, objective would mean it would also be wrong if God did it. No. Okay, so you don't believe in objective morality.
Okay. You
Okay.
literally just
Do
said
you agree or
early in our
disagree?
conversation that you can't compare me and God because he was a God and I'm just a human being.
If you
Logically
believe in I can't compare you, a person, to God, a person, or a non-person. Yeah, but
Right.
that doesn't have any implication for what it means to be objective.
So, but can humans? I don't know. I don't want to get TikTok banned for the word "and," but like "mer," you know what I mean? Can humans do that? Can humans take
Anybody
a
can
innocent
do
life?
that,
Okay, so can God do that though?
of course, or
No,
he's
he
not
can't.
omnipotent. Then he's not omnipotent.
He's the creator of life. What do you mean he can do it? You
God-
clearly don't understand God.
So
you
God
are
is
not the creator
then he's not
of all
omnipotent.
things.
Okay.
And do they really?
Then it's not
is it really-
objective. How do you not get this?
Okay.
How do you not get it? What would count as murder? What would count as murder?
On a human level?
No, if it's objective, then it doesn't matter at what level.
You're literally now you're trying to put God into like a human form.
No, I'm not. These
You're comparing God to you and me and the judge. And the,
let's ask a different question because you're not. I don't know if you're not getting it or you're just unwilling to
Okay, so
play along.
we'll
If-
agree to disagree, but
No,
from what I got so
no.
far, you care more about your feelings than the.
That's a cute projection, but it's not going to work. If God said 2 + 2 = 5, would that be true or false? You're muted. I don't know if you've ever been muted before. You have to tap yourself and unmute yourself.
God can't do anything that's not logical, so he couldn't make a one-ended stick. But he could pick up a mountain, he could destroy.
The
Earth, he could
question
do
was,
things that are-
if God said 2 + 2 = 5, would that be true or false?
it wouldn't be true, but I don't know if I don't know if we discovered math or invented it, so I'm not sure.
So it would be false?
I'm not sure. Did we discover math or invent it?
I think it's an invention.
Okay, so then maybe it's true.
Then that would. So if I say 2 + 2 = 5, is that true or false?
For us, I would say that that's false. But remember, it's just an invention, so it can be changed, I guess, you know. I don't think it's an invention. I think we discovered it. And John Lennox is a mathematician at Oxford.
I know.
And
who
he
John
talks
Lennox
about
is.
it a lot. He's a scientist, and he believes in Jesus. He's a mathematician. He probably know more about you, but he thinks that we discovered math. We didn't invent it.
Yeah, I disagree. That's not a conversation I'm interested in having at the moment.